Hey, what is going on, everyone? So it's been a long time since I've gone live. I am back to doing these, and so I'm going to start getting back to doing these. But first of all, let's see what we're going to do. We're going to enjoy. We're going to do this with a little wine here. This is I I went to Jewel and got this William Hill Cabernet Sauvignon. So we're going to drink a little wine while we do a little design. So. Um, Welcome to another episode of Quick Start Creative. I am the host, of course, and we're just going to say Jimmy because what the hell? That's what everyone knows me by. So, cheers. So, what happened today? Today, I watched Adobe Max, and one of the things that stood out to me were the new features in Adobe Illustrator. Now, they showcased some things in Photoshop and Premiere Pro, things we already knew were there, but now with Illustrator, they're really doing some creative things here. And I think I have a presentation that I'm doing for in the next two in November and in January. I'm doing some presentations for e-learning assets. And I think I'm going to include what's possible in Adobe Illustrator. I know not everyone has Adobe Illustrator, but it's one of those things where I think you'll find it interesting. So let's go ahead and jump right in here. And if you want to comment, whatever. So let's get to this. Let's get to the screen here. Okay. First of all, this let's start with a brand new screen here, just so we can see what is possible. We're going to go with 1000 by 1000. And what we have is this text to vector graphic in beta. Now, if you downloaded Adobe Illustrator, the beta version, actually this is in Adobe Illustrator 24, version 24. If we take a look here, let's go to help and let's go about. My about is showing up on the other screen here, but this is version 24. So this is the latest version of Illustrator. I'll go ahead and bring up the Creative Cloud here so we can see this. Take a look at the apps and learn more, and we can see that this is my latest version of version 28. So if you download version 28, these beta versions will be in Adobe Illustrator. So if you don't see it in the actual beta um, software of Adobe Illustrator, just update to version 28 of Adobe Illustrator and you'll have it. All right, so a little quirk there. But text to vector, this is one of those things where primarily in order to do this, before, the workflow was simple. You would go to Midjourney, and let's go ahead and pull this up here. There's a website called Vectorize AI, and let's go ahead and change what I'm presenting. Share screen. I'm going to share the entire screen so I don't have to keep jumping back and forth. Okay. So typically, this is what we would do. We would come here and we would grab an image. Let's see, I have, let's grab this one. Take this one. We would put it in Vectorizer AI, and this is an image I got from Midjourney. So I created this in Midjourney, and you can see it, vectorize it, and then we can go ahead and download it. And we want I want ESP fill shapes. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay. Medium, fine. And let's go ahead and do this. We'll save it in Dolly reference, and we will just say test image vector. All right. So if I open that, test image vector, and here's our vector. And it does a really good job, actually. So I'm always happy with what it does. It does a pretty decent job. It eliminates, it cleans up the lines a little bit, but does a pretty good job. Now, if I were to take that same image and then pull it into, let's close this. If I take that same image and pull it into Adobe Illustrator, what I would do is I would come over here and I would do image trace. Now, the one I would do is a low fidelity photo. Do that, expand, and we almost get, the same thing. Let's come in here and see what it does with that. This is the test. See what it does with the eyes. All right. We did got something weird going on with the mouth there. And let's see what it did here. So you can see that the website actually does a better job in cleaning up the lines. So those are two ways you can vectorize this. But now let's generate a vector right inside of a. All right. And so we have our text to vector beta, and let's go with in fact, let's do this. I know exactly what this prompt is. This is 2D flat design, 5 colors, African American woman, professionally dressed. We had a light orange blouse and gray dress slacks. Minimal design, sharp edges. So this is what I did in Midjourney to get this image. So let's see what it does here. So we hit generate, and is going to do just like in Photoshop. It's going to give you 3 images, and we'll get 3 options. But one of the things it does it, but you can see clearly we have that's not bad. That's not bad. The only issue I have with this is that it can't seem to get the face. So if we compare what Midjourney did, and then you come over here what Adobe Vector did, it really didn't do what I wanted. And now here's the thing we can do. So we can try this. Let's go ahead and delete this. We'll delete that. Let's drag the image here. Okay. So what we can do is we can take this right here where it says style picker, select that and select that image. And now it's going to look at this style. And then let's say, let's put the same prompt in and generate. And what we have is referencing a style. So let's see if we can get closer to what we really want. But one of the things with Adobe Firefly, with Adobe Generative Fill, oh, didn't want to do that. It actually did the wrong one. Okay. Oops, made a mistake. So let's do that again. Let's do this. Put that right there. And I forgot to do this image here. Okay. Now let's generate. So we have here, and then we're referencing this image here. And let's see what happens. And see if we can get closer to what we really want. No, that's not it. Let's go to the next one. All right. Kind of. Hmm. Okay. So of the three, this is the closest, but again, Adobe cannot get the face right. Um, Now, I do wonder what if. So here's this is the issue that it has that I really can't figure out how to really get a face. So I'm going to work with this a little bit more, but I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to go to scene. And let's go with, let's keep the prompt really simple. Let's call it a steak dinner. Let's see what happens. We have a scene, steak dinner, and generate. And we'll keep it simple. Sometimes with generative AI is that you have to start with the simplest prompt and then kind of continue to work through it. So we'll see what it does here. And as you can see, there's two. And here's three. All right. So that it did a better job with that than it did with the face. But let's see what here. We also have, we'll delete that. Start again. That looks fine. This time we're going to go with icon. And what kind of icon do we want? We want an e-learning document icon. All right. So let's see if we can get something here. The one thing, I just started playing around with this, so obviously I'm going to have to spend some time with it. Okay, I like that. Now, here's what I do like. So this is something I like. So this is what we have, but we have the recolor and where we can go in here and we can let's smooth it around here. All right. So you can come in and recolor a document So I do like this part. Obviously, this is the one that's determining the color of that icon. All right. All right. So that's what's determining the color of the icon. So I do like that part. Give me three options. So I do like the recoloring part. I like that it can do that. And let's see here. Let's try one more. Let's go to pattern. We're going to figure this out, see if I need to go the size here. And my pattern is going to be a city map. Let's try a city map pattern and see what we get. Okay. So as you can see, obviously, I'm just kind of playing around with this. But I believe in about a week, I will have this narrowed down a little bit on what are the things I can do specifically for. Okay, so here's a pattern. And it looks like there's a way in Illustrator that you can do a repeated pattern. And I won't do that right now, but there is a way that we can do a repeated pattern. But you can see we get our pattern here if we wanted to. But that's kind of cool. I like that. But let's see what happens if we do this. All right. So there's one. Let's try this. There's a, oh, actually, I like this one. This one's kind of cool. So you can see how it does. It's just a repeated pattern, which really, in a sense, that with this, you actually don't need to go through all of the different techniques that you would normally have to with Adobe Illustrator to get your pattern. If you wanted this to be 500 by 500, it's here. If you want to go to 1,000, it's here. If you want to be 2,000, it's just going to size to what you need. So this is actually, I think if you're one of those who do patterns a lot and put them on Etsy, I think this actually is a very, this is a very good tool. This is interesting. So you'd have to find out where the repeated patterns are so you can know where to stop and start. But once you do that, then it's no big deal. Okay. Last thing here. Let's go with, I'm going to assume scene. Let's assume scene. And let's see if we can get, let's see if we can do this. Let's see, can it do words? So let's see what it does. If it can figure out an e-learning UI. And this is one of those things where obviously you don't, typically with UI, what we're looking for is ideas for layouts, not so much that this is going to create it. But no, not so much that. Okay. Okay. So UI design is not, let's go with a mobile. Let's see, does it understand mobile UI layout? it may end up with a mock-up versus, yeah. So, all right. One last thing here. I want to test out to see does it understand see if we can get a bunch of a mobile icon set. We'll see if it can understand that. Not really. Okay. So here's some limitations of it. If you wanted a mobile icon kit, something like that, then we would have to go through. If I came over here to Midjourney and let's go ahead and create a new channel, call it, we'll call it icons. And I said, imagine and I'm just going to say mobile icon kit, and we'll do an aspect ratio of 5:4. And then we'll see what Midjourney would come up with. Okay. So this is what I'm expecting from when I say a mobile icon kit. This is kind of what I'm expecting. Now, we didn't put any parameters as far as color is concerned, as far as what styling, if we wanted it flat or something like that. We just said mobile icon kit, but right off the bat here, you can see that, you know, we have some icons. We have some icons here, and we could, you know, you could use this. This is something you can use if you wanted to, or you could just simply bring it into Photoshop or Illustrator and then kind of redesign it and turn it into a vector. Um, Something like this. You know what? Let's go for it. Let's simplify this. Mobile icon kit with 10 icons. And let's go with white background. Let's see, we go with, I like my orange and gray. And we're going to say no gradients. All right. And we can see if we can simplify this, bring it into Photoshop and then, or Illustrator, and see what happens. Yeah, see it misinterpreted what I wanted. It gave me, okay. So we're going to do this. We're going to do one more time. This is their 10, 10 icons, 10. Okay. Let's see if it can interpret that a little bit better and just give me 10 individual icons versus giving me 10 different layouts with icons. Okay. Not doing it. All right. It is not doing it. I'm going to try something here. We're going to go for. Yeah. I'm going to get rid of style and. All right. Let's see here. Okay. All right. We got something here. All right. Let's see what we have. All right. All right. So we have some icons. Let's go with. Hmm, those are different colors. I kind of. Let's go with this one. So let's go with number 2. Let's upsize number 2. All right. We will save it. Call it icons. All right. And we'll bring that into. We'll bring that into Illustrator and see what happens here. All right. We do that. We go image trace. We're going to do, we'll still say, all right. All right. So that worked. That worked well. I got it out of here. And if we wanted to, we can just go ahead and change the color. All right. Okay. And now we have our individual icons. So, and it's ready to be a vector. So we can just take this, and I wonder how does it do it in layers. Let's see. Let's take a look at the layers. I'm hoping. Yeah, it jumps it around. So It's the one thing about this is that, trying to figure out where the layers are at, but we can vectorize this. So we can just take this. This is now we're missing the piece. 0. We got this, 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 this. All right. So that's you. Let's see where you're at here. All right. Let's take you. And lock you so that way you don't move. Come out of here. Oh. It's giving me the fits. Let's see here. Yeah, we'd have to work on separating these. Okay, so you'd kind of have to work on getting these separated. You can see that they're all over the place. So here, this one here, this one here. And so we'd have to come up and maybe just create a new layer. Take this, take this. Okay. So you'd have to do that with each of these just to get them, kind of get them in their own layers here. So these are close. That's nice. These are all close together. So this would be kind of a bit of a headache. But doing this versus trying to create all the icons over again, you can see, 1, 2, and then you just have the rest of them to do it. So some work there, but overall, my impression of my initial impression of text to vector is that I believe that it's going to impact how I do my work. It will impact how I do my work. Now, it still may be to generate the initial image. I end up in Midjourney because I've tried Dolly 3, and Dolly 3 does a decent job in cases, but when it comes to vectors, things like this, I think what's going to happen is that I'm going to stay with starting off in Midjourney because Midjourney produces the highest quality images, bar none, and then work my way over to Illustrator, where it can get vectorized, and then I can start working on the actual design. So more than likely that is the workflow that I'm going to use, and I think it'll work out well. But this is the first one. There are a lot of features. I'm just going to go one by one, test them out as I get introduced to them, see how I like them, see where they fit in, see where they don't. There are a couple of other betas mock-up. I haven't tried it yet. And there was another one, retype. So I think the retype is very interesting from what I saw. So retype and mockup, we will get to those in the next few days. And I'm going to go back and see what's new in Premiere Pro, because Premiere Pro with the text editing feature, there is now catching up to Descript. Descript allows you to take out the ums and the ahs and all of the filler words. Premiere Pro now does that. So that's a huge thing. And I would like to see what they can bring this to Audition, because Audition is where I record my podcast, and that's where I would want it at. But we'll see. But I think with all the video podcasts that are out there now, I think Adobe is kind of seeing that the writing on the wall is that video podcasting is the way to go, and so they're just focusing on there, which is understandable. But all right, so that's my live. I'm gonna start doing lives. I may cut this down. I may edit. It may not. What the hell? And let me just go ahead, create a thumbnail, and get this up on YouTube. All right, so that is it. I am out. I have not been paying attention, so if you've been commenting or anything like that, sorry. Haven't looked at any comments. So that's it. I'm out. You guys have a good one.